How heavy has it been for people trying to critique? Is this real? Is this for show?
It was never fake. Um, my encounter with God was real.
Yeah.
Um, I was just really just in a space where I was dating somebody, and I'm not gonna say any names, but and I'm thankful for this person because it was never that I never believed in God. I just wasn't really close to him, and it was somebody that was in my life that had an influence, and I was so focused on being a wife and being loved on and being wanted that I was just like, okay, well, I have to change who I am in order for this person to accept me.
Yeah.
And I was more so focused on that versus my walk with God. I was doing it more for what that person wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, maybe.
Okay, so you was pretending to walk with God just so you could get a certain guy. Hey, listen, it doesn't matter who you are, whether male or female, whatever race you want to identify as. Anytime when you try to pretend like you're walking with God, but that's not really your true intentions, things just don't end well. And that goes for everybody.
Maybe if I change my image on Instagram or I change how I am, then I'll be his wife or I'll do this. So it was more so like, okay, Alexis, are you ready for this? But I really wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of image on Instagram, because I've seen Alexis Scott before, right? Let's go to her IG because I seen her before. I'm like, yo, wasn't this the same girl on Love and Hip Hop? Hold up, let me check this out. All right, so this is Alexis Scott's Instagram, right? All right, no, so she's attractive overall. I'm not gonna say that she's ugly or nothing. I ain't gonna do it like that. But if you go to her um link area into her IG, it pulls up. She's on OnlyFans. I mean, and listen, I mean, I'm not knocking women for making money online. I mean, it's not their fault that a bunch of oh, hold up, my bad. I ain't get to see it. Hold on, it didn't click on. Hold up. Uh, oh, it won't let me share it. Dag, it won't let me share it. All right, but guys, she's on OnlyFans though. It's not letting me. Hold up, matter of fact, hold up, share screen. Dag. All right, there we go. All right, so here's her profile. So she got OnlyFans link right here. And yeah, so this is her content. And like I said before, it's not, women's fault that most men are suckers, because y'all just love paying for this stuff. I don't understand why you guys pay for porn. You can't call yourself a man if you do so, in my opinion. But hey, if you're a woman and you're on OnlyFans constantly, no man is just gonna take you seriously because you're just a online thought that's making money. That's exactly how a real man looks at it.
Yeah.
And it's not saying that I wasn't ready to walk with God. It's just I wasn't doing it the right way. I was more so
Mm.
doing it for somebody else. And so it just happened overnight. So next thing you know, I'm on the internet telling the world, like, I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that, I stopped doing that. But this is who Alexis really was.
Yeah.
And I was changing myself for somebody else and not for
Wow.
me.
That's
And that
powerful.
person had a major impact. And I don't regret it because that was what was supposed to happen. Um, but just coming from, I used to dance. I've
Yeah.
I've been in trafficking and just the lifestyle that I've came from. That's all I.
Wait, trafficking? I didn't know she did trafficking. Wait, hold up. She did trafficking? Yo, man, this woman sounds a little scarred, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, she did trafficking?
know. So
Yeah.
people can't fault me for being on the internet, showing this or doing this or having an OnlyFans or doing that because that's all I was taught. I never went to college.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like to have an degree. Um, so my life is make fast money.
Yes.
So that's all I know how to go back to. And even during my journey, it was almost like, okay, I'm here. I started thinking of other ways I can make money in
Yes.
the right way. So I came out with a journal and they were saying I'm profiting from God. And I'm like,
Yes.
this doesn't make no sense.
Right.
How am I profiting from God when I just gave up thousands of dollars that I was making per month, hundreds of
Right.
thousands
Right.
to literally surrender to him? And, as each day got on, I'm like, okay, whether I was doing this for this man, I actually was like getting closer and closer. So even though I was doing it for him, I was still was getting closer to God, and
Right.
everything was starting.
Yeah, but it just doesn't work. Like, okay, case in point, look at the election, for example, right? Kamala Harris was trying to convince everybody that she was so black. You know, she came from the middle class. You know, I'm a black woman, and that's not the truth. That's the same woman that said that she will cook greens in the bathtub. And I'm black, and I never seen any of my mothers or grandmothers do that. That's nasty as hell. I would have left the dinner table. So anytime when you're pretending to be something that you're not, and people can see it publicly, people will call you out for it. That's why she lost. Well, that was one of the reasons she lost the election, regardless of whether you're a fan of Trump or not. So it's the same thing for Shorty right here. You know, come on, you're trying to sit here trying to act like you're walking with God just for a relationship. That's the issue. And I'm not saying that Alexis is a bad person. Like I never met the girl. I'm not saying she's a bad person or nothing. But if you're trying to walk in the way of God and you're trying to like walk with Christianity, you actually have to believe that in here. That has to be in you in here. You can't fake that. And the way the internet is today, you know, the internet is ruthless, bro. Like nobody is safe on the internet at all. They'll call you out quick.
To like make sense to me. I started understanding like this is who I'm supposed to be. I have a calling on my life to help women like me. Help
Yes.
women that come from battered situations or that are in a nightlife that think that they're not worthy enough to be this. This is what God wants me to be, a vessel to these women. But it's not helping when I have 5.6 million followers attacking me. Everything I do, it's
Wow.
like, oh, this is not godly enough, or you're not a Christian. So I'm like, okay, this is like not making no sense. I might as well go back to doing what I was doing
You're
because
right. You're right.
do y'all like me doing this or not? So
Right.
at this point, it just became a confusion. Like nothing was good enough for the internet. Nothing was good enough for him. He ended up leaving me
Mm,
in the midst of me changing. And I'm like you promised to stay here and have my back
right.
financially because you
Right.
know I'm giving up everything.
Right.
And he left me. So I'm like, it was more so I was like in fear. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna pay?
All right, this is a lesson for everybody, man. Stop posting stuff on the internet, man. The internet is ruthless. The internet is a cold, cold place, man. Nobody wants to see people happy on the internet most of the time. All right, that was another mistake that Alexis might have made. Stop posting things on the internet. But I would love to know, man, what was his reasons for leaving? Like, because Alexis is an attractive woman. You know, she's not ugly. Like, she must have a screw loose in some way. She has to be, because I'm thinking to myself, Dag, like she looks good from head to toe for the most part. So what could be what could be the man's real reason for leaving? Right now, maybe one reason or the main reason could be he found out that she doesn't walk with God like she pretended to be. That could be a reason. You know, maybe she's still on OnlyFans, being an online stripper. That could be a reason. And I kid you not, if I had to take a guess, whoever guy that she's talking about, he tried to convince her to take down the OnlyFans content. Because I don't care what no one says, any man with any type of spine, any type of testosterone in his system, there's no way he's gonna let his woman or be okay with his woman being on OnlyFans. There's no way. I'm sorry. I don't care. But oh well, we could do it for extra money. Not damn that, man. The whole world could see you half naked. I'm the only person that's supposed to see that, not the entire world. Like posting attractive pictures on Instagram is one thing, but not OnlyFans. Nah, no.
Pay my bills? How am I gonna continue to live this lifestyle that I was living? You know, and I was more so living in fear and not having faith in God. And
Wow.
I didn't know what faith was because if I
Yeah.
had the faith, I would have continued to my journey. You know, so that was about I guess 2 years ago now,
Yep.
and within those 2 years, it's just been so many different like transitions for me. 2024, nobody could pay me to do it again.
Yeah.
But that's when I think, God just wiped me clean and everywhere. And it just was like, listen, you want to keep going back, you want to keep doing this, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah. The public transformation of revival that's taking place
Hmm.
is not in a corner. It's happening in broad daylight in front of the world. The same kind of pushback happened with Justin Bieber. Same kind of pushback happened with Black China. And I'm trying to figure out how the church is the only army that kills its own soldiers.
I don't know, and it made me stop even going to church.
Wow.
I stopped going to church. I stopped reading the word like for a while, and then you know God got my attention. God's never gonna stop getting my attention. I know
Right.
that He'll show me in different ways, but it was to the point where I was like, well, I'm not even Christian anymore. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? Because if I like this is what Christian feels like, I don't want to be a part of that.
yeah.
And it's like,
All right. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that people in the church always do things the right way. I'm not going to sit here and say that there's no hypocrites in the church between men and women. I'm not going to deny that. But what Alexis has to understand is that, when you go through many years of being on OnlyFans, being a dancer, and then she admitted that she was a part of trafficking, and I'm not saying that every situation was her fault entirely, but you do have a lot of mental scars that a man has to deal with. So, you pretending to walk with God is not a good thing, but this is why therapy is important. All right, everybody needs a therapist, because at the end of the day, man, if I had to take a guess, she was depending on this man to be her therapy. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people are like scarred psychologically from their past, and they depend on the person that they're with to be their therapist. And that never really ends well, ever. Ever. Like, no, you can't be someone's lover and be their unpaid therapist at the same time. And then in her situation, not saying that she's a bad person, but you pretending to be something that you're not, it doesn't hold up well. And I'm sure that's what bro recognized, and that's why he left. Because as soon as let me give you an example. Let's say if you're a man, right? You have a girl over, whatever, and you show her that you like to go outside all the time for your first 2-3 months of dealing with her, and she believes it. But deep down inside, that's not really who you are. And she gets a wind of that's not really who you are. She'll leave you because she'll know that, okay, yeah, you're really just a loser. You were just pretending to do it just so you could get in my pants. So I'm just going to walk away because I know you're really fake. Like, that's exactly what she would think in a situation like that. So it's the same thing that bro thought when she was dealing with Alexis. Yeah, she looks good. She's attractive, but if I'm a Christian man and you're only trying to be Christian just so you could be in a relationship or just so you could get money out of me, that's not going to work. Because as soon as you get the money or I'm paying your bills, how do I know you won't switch up on me? Like, that's a whole fact. That's something that a lot of people have to realize, man. Just be who you are genuinely. Stop trying to change yourself entirely just to be one person. If you're not like that, you're just not like that. That's just what it is. But this should be a lesson to a lot of younger women, though. Listen, I understand OnlyFans is making money. I understand there's a whole bunch of suckers in the world, especially you bitch ass men that love paying for OnlyFans. I still don't know how. I don't know where your pride is at. I don't get how you work all these hours just to give it away to a bunch of women that you'll never see. I don't know. But listen, OnlyFans content, there's always going to be a new woman that turns 21, right? And if you keep this stuff up with OnlyFans and trying to expose your entire body for money, it's cool for the meantime, but it doesn't last in the long run. And without works, faith is dead overall. Like, if you're trying to say that, hey, I want to be married, I want to, have a family, it doesn't, like, online strippers, it just doesn't really work. It doesn't, because you have all these men going up inside you, and now you're emotionally scarred. And now the good guy that you want has to deal with it. And that's not fair to him now, is it? So if you're emotionally scarred from your past, whether it was your fault or not, you need to go get a therapist. You have to work on yourself to go get therapy. No one else can do it, but you got to do it for yourself.